There seems to be this narrative in Leafs Nation. They're only able to keep one of Domi or Bertuzzi. Never mind both. Never say never again with all the moving parts we just referenced. But of the two guys, who would you keep?
I'm on Team Domi, just based on production, based on compete. Like, he was everywhere, man. There was games there in the playoffs where he was our best player. Whether it's face-offs or making plays or getting in the mix and getting in the extracurriculars, finishing his hit, driving the net. Just, he was doing everything. He's got that dog in him that everybody wants in Leafs Nation. Like, the most frustrating thing for Leafs is when guys just are doing nothing. Like, what are you doing tonight? What have you brought to the table? What have you done to help the team win? And sometimes you look at certain players and you're like, zero. And that's never the case with Max Domi. He's always, you just watch him work. You just watch him compete. He'll just do anything. He'll go through a wall to get that puck. Simple as that. And he showed me that he has got what it takes to play in this market. He loves it. I think it's in his blood. You watch the interviews and the side pieces before the games and stuff where he's talking about what it means to be on that team that his dad had such a big impact on. And, it seems like it's home for him. And I think he's willing to do anything to win a Stanley Cup here. And I would get that guy on my roster and lock him up. And like you say, I don't even think he commands as much of a AAV as Bertuzzi would. I'm not knocking Bertuzzi. It just seems like he's a little streakier and goes up and down a little bit. As much as I like him in front of the net, as much chaos and havoc as he did cause, it didn't actually lead to any production in a lot of ways. So just nothing against Bertuzzi. I do like him too, and I wouldn't be against re-signing him if everything lined up properly. But Domi, is the number one in that conversation for me.
To me, it would be Domi as well. I think for the first time in a while, he's found a place that's legitimately home, and it is. But I think even the way he plays, his brand, his style, I think his versatility stands out too when you compare him to Bertuzzi. Like, he can play the wing, he can play up the middle, he can play in the bottom six, he can play in the top six. And I do think that's where the game is trending in general. You need guys like that, Swiss Army knives. And I think Domi's a guy who can bring that. And then everything you just mentioned about the price tag, I think he's going to command less than Tyler Bertuzzi will in the open market, because teams are going to look at Bertuzzi and say, hey, this guy's a power forward. He can play that style, that brand in the playoffs. He can play with some of our heavier guys and our bigger guys in the top six. And it just takes one to be like, we believe in this guy. We're going to pay him $5.5, $6 million per season. And I think when it comes to Domi, I think there's also that attachment of being the guy whose father was a legend for this team. And I think you pull on that a bit when you talk contract with him.
Yeah, I know. It just seems like all the ducks are in a row for them to extend this guy and make him a Leaf for a considerable amount of time. I do think it seems like he's found a home. I don't really know why he's bounced around the way he has. Seems like everyone likes him. He's very likable. He works hard. He puts the team first. There's nothing you could call to him on why you'd not really be interested in having him in your franchise. So the way he works, his toughness factor, his compete level, and then his skill as well, and versatility, come on. He was the one guy that stood out in that series for me as being a guy who was 100% committed to doing what it took.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.